brought my glove too, just
very nice. Very nice. Okay.
These on the table or on the lap?
Yeah. Put them out on the table. So, I
Flip it up.
I kind of want
see the
to
logo.
see what you play with. Tell me about your mallet.
I use a hard low top mallet.
Okay.
When I first entered the sport, I used this mallet because it was fast, and I loved air hockey for its speed and its randomness.
Sure.
Soon discovered that having control is better, so I switched to a high top. I used a high top for many years, and then in recent years developed arthritis in my shoulder.
Right.
And so the strength and the length of my shoulder to be able to last with a high top, because it really requires you to put a lot into it.
Yeah.
So I switched back to the hard low top for the mallets to assist me.
Yeah.
And there's trade-offs.
Yeah.
As you well know.
Yeah.
And so I've definitely lost some of my defense.
Right.
But I've lost the way I shoot. Some of my shots changed because the positioning of the hand is different.
Sure.
But I feel like the trade-off has worked in my favor. It's helped me to stay in the upper part of the rankings where I don't think without it, I think I would have.
You would have had to drop out completely.
I think I would have been out of the top 10 right now.
Okay. All right.
And I wear a glove. I tape my fingers and I wear a glove. It helps me with grip.
Oh, so you're using the glove on the hand that you're playing with.
Correct.
Okay,
I tape my fingers
Yeah.
to prevent bleeding, and then I wear the glove. And then the glove with the tape that I have in the mallet helps me to grip. And I, of course, use the string. I like
gotta
the
use
string.
the
I was happy
string.
when the string rule came back.
That's right.
But that allows me to grip. It allows me to hold it very loose. I don't have to worry about losing the mallet, and I can just pop it.
Awesome. Cool.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us, I mean, obviously I know, but tell me your name, where you're from.
My name is Brian Accrocco. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I am an IT manager at Occidental Petroleum.
It's a little above my head. So what does that mean exactly?
I work at Occidental Petroleum, an oil and gas company. It's actually more of an oil company now.
Right.
And I work in the IT department as a manager. And my specific role is the records management and information governance, which we could talk on for a long time.
Okay.
It's not anything interesting, but it's,
okay.
Yeah.
But it requires a lot of attention to detail.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's probably where you get your sense of organization.
I'm responsible for essentially policies and procedures around the governance of data and managing all the physical records and digital records of the company.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Well, cool. How did you discover air hockey?
In 1991, I wandered into an arcade called Red Barons at West Oaks Mall, over by where I lived at the time, and Vince Chappelle was running a weekly tournament. And I thought, oh wow, I'm great at air hockey. I can beat all these guys. And soon discovered that there was a whole world, and I was at the bottom of it. So I was immediately addicted to it.
So, now you say you wandered into the mall. Were you a mall rat, like some of us? Or?
I did go to the mall occasionally.
Okay.
So it wasn't unusual at the time. So that was at the time I lived in a neighborhood called Pecan Grove, and the mall was the closest civilization to that.
Okay.
So when we wanted something to do, we went to the mall. And I frequented that arcade all the time to play video games, and they just happened to be having a tournament that day. And
that's neat. Okay. Huh. Well, what's your strongest memory from when you discovered air hockey?
Strongest memory? Oh. I have very fond memories of greens. I liked playing at Greens Game Room. That's when I met you and a lot of the upper players, and it's when I really learned and saw who the upper echelon of the sport was when I was coming up. And then there were 4 tournaments. After I got to playing, I got into organizing and running tournaments, and from 2009 to 2012, I was able to organize 4 the largest world championships ever held at SRO. And being able to run an event that I required a large team of very capable people to put together that's probably the strongest memory I have, is all the hard work and how we took all these different personalities and we found a way to work together and make something good happen.
And I think that those tournaments in that time period at SRO were very memorable. They had a sense of brandedness about them. Right. You know, they really you remember them. You know, they sink in your mind because of that. And so
that's what we were going for.
Right. Well, it did the trick. So, is air hockey your first passion pursuit in your life? Now, you've done it a long time, but were there other passion pursuits before?
Soccer. When I was a young man, I played soccer. I thought I was good at it. My parents didn't think I was as good as I thought I was. I didn't get an opportunity to really play in a competitive league, and then my high school that I went to didn't have a team, so I never really got to develop. I still play today in an older co-ed league. But air hockey joined, and actually for a while I was doing both, and then I stopped
Oh.
soccer while I was going to graduate school.
Okay. Okay. Huh. So, soccer as a passion project versus air hockey. Is one more
Air hockey.
passionate?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
air hockey. There's no question about it.
So, this is it's a cliche question, but I think it's a good question, which is, what does air hockey mean to you?
Air hockey for me is really a metaphor for life in general. I like to say that the way each person plays is an expression of their soul, because no two people play the same. And so the way eventually your game evolves is an expression of who you are and how you think and how you solve problems and how you kind of approach life. And that's the beauty of it, is that there's all these different shots, but how you use them, how you execute them, the choices that you make when you're playing an opponent, how you recognize the situation that you're in. Everything about you is revealed on the table, and I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it tests your human abilities beyond what most human beings, the speed that we have to think and go at, most human beings never experience.
That's true. That's true. And I like what you said. I think it's true that people's personalities come out on the table, right? Who they are and how they approach problem solving, how they approach a challenge in life. Some people are just hit, right? Some people set it
And I
up.
think it changes, with you as you grow. My game has evolved. I was much more impulsive as a younger man, and my game was much more impulsive.
Right.
And as I've aged and become less impulsive and more structured, my game has become that way as
Okay.
well. And
Okay.
so I think
Interesting.
as we grow and change and age and mature, I think our games do as well. And of course, now I don't have the physicality that younger men do, so I have to get more clever and smart in the way I play in order
That's
to keep
right.
up with these
You have
guys.
to outfox them.
Yeah, right.
You use the old tricks of the
Have to
trade.
Have to break down defenses and,
Yeah.
and do all kinds of intelligent type stuff, which I like to just used to play with, just go at it and just kind of go.
So, what do you think is unique about your relationship to air hockey?
Unique. Probably the brand of leadership that I've brought.
Okay.
Leadership is actually a passion of mine as well. It's a natural talent that I've my whole life been reading about. I went to graduate school and focused on
Right.
it. I was always the kid. When we were kids, I was the kid rounding everyone up to go play football or soccer on the
Right,
street.
right.
And so I came into air hockey and recognized, we had these tournaments, but it was small, it was semi-organized, but there really was an opportunity to add more process and operation and structure to it.
Right.
And so that's what I believe that I've brought in all the tournaments that I've run, showing that we can get very organized, we can run large tournaments, we can brand it, we can
Yeah.
look very professional.
Yeah.
And we can do that while also playing the game at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a solution, which
Yeah.
that's always been our challenge.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's the people that actually promote it or organize it are doing it because they love it, and so it creates sort of a challenge there.
Right, and I think the second thing I've always said, they talk about diversity, which is kind of this big thing across the planet, but to me diversity is that anybody, we have a boundary well set. If you're within those boundaries, you can come and play.
Yeah.
I don't like cliques in this little group and
Sure.
that little group. I'm all about everyone can all be a group. We can be friendly and all get along.
Right.
And I've always been that way. Anybody that's come up wants to talk to me about a tournament, absolutely. Let me tell you about this. Anyone that wants to come and play can play, but as long as you're
Sure.
within the behavior boundaries, you can't
Right.
be
Yeah.
throwing
Then you
mallets
can be
and
part.
fighting and stuff like
Sure.
that.
You have to work well and play well with others.
You have to learn how to be humble in your victory and a
Sure.
gracious loser
Right.
and a
Absolutely.
good loser, which
Yeah.
is challenging for all of us.
Yeah,
but-
of course. Yeah. So this, I think you'll be able to answer though, which is, how has air hockey changed you?
It has helped me to develop as a leader, to learn the proper way to conduct myself and to manage my anger. This tests those facets of your personality, and it's given me an opportunity to really take a natural talent that I have and develop it and move closer to God in that regard. I believe that's what we're called to do, is figure out what our purpose is and then be good at it.
Yeah.
And this has given me an avenue to do that, and then to be able to use those talents for the benefit of others, which is something that gives
Yeah.
me joy.
Yeah, that's nice. What do you feel like the world needs to know about air hockey?
There's something for everybody. It's a sport that everybody should play, even if just recreationally. There's just so much fun in it, and we see that when we go to arcades and you see parents playing with their kids and friends playing, and even if they never have the passion to take it to the level that we do, that playing the game, you can just be in the middle of playing a game and all of a sudden you get some kind of an epiphany. Even like, wow, this was really neat, and then that can stick with you and it can help you in other aspects. You can learn from it. The game teaches you so much.
Yeah. Yes, it certainly does. It reveals a lot.
It reveals a lot,
yeah.
but it also teaches.
Right. Yeah. So, okay, and then I've got a couple of fun questions here at the end. What's your best air hockey shot?
My best air hockey shot's my cross straight.
Okay, your cross straight. So are you, is it a right to center drift? Is it some other kind of?
My best cross is what we've branded a thin cross, which is almost a straight drift off the back of the mallet with a push, with a follow through.
Yeah.
That the motion creates an optical illusion, and most people don't properly correct for it. And it slips by the mallet.
So is that like what we would say in the past? We'd call that either a boom straight or a power straight.
Pretty close to a power straight.
Okay, power straight, yeah.
But it's like I said, it's off the back side of the mallet rather than
I
swing,
understand.
Right?
Yeah.
And I hit the cross many different ways, but that's the one when I'm on. When I get that shot going, it's very hard to defend.
Yeah.
Jose Mora won a Nationals with a
shot.
shot.
That's his shot.
And he was that's almost all he hit.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
All right, and here's the other one. Who was or is the best player of all time?
I don't do best player of all time. I don't believe in the concept of that, because at any given time, different people are at different places in their life, and there's different levels of athletes, and it's impossible to take you when you're at your best, and Danny when he was at his best, and Jesse at his best, and play
Colin,
because you're great at different times. So I don't ascribe to that. I believe that there have been, I believe that Jesse, you, Danny, and Colin have all been the greatest of players in different times. You're all equally incredible at what you've done, and you're dominant champions at different times. And I look at all of you as kind of the dominant leaders of the sport. We've had a few others. Billy Stubbs has been had a good run. Jose Mora had several tournaments that he won. So we've had a few others. Robert Hernandez, Mark Robbins. We've had all of our champions have been great players, but the U4 have really been the ones. And now, as I said, Colin, Danny, you, and Jesse, I think were the four that have really had the long periods of dominance that have gone on in the sport. And your son may rise to that too. He's won one, and he may win many more.
Yeah. So I hope he does. I hope everybody does. I hope you do.
I've won 5 doubles, but
I understand.
I've never quite been able to put it together for singles. And right now, I'd have to break a glass ceiling. No one in their 40s has ever won, and I'm on the edge of 50. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad that you're still able to compete. I would like to be able to compete again, and maybe I'll get there again. I don't know.
Well, I flirted with going left-handed, and I started practicing and working left-handed, and it became evident to me that the little micro movements and touches that we have, it's just going to take time to develop that, and when I switch, I'm going to drop for a period of time and lose to people that I'm used to beating, and psychologically I haven't been able to deal with that yet. So we'll see how this tournament goes. If I drop out of the top 10 in this tournament, then I'm probably going to go ahead and make the switch to left-handed, because my left shoulder is still good.
Good. Okay.
And I know what to do. A lifetime of learning the correct way to play. I actually start correctly. I might make a quick jump back.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's good talking with you. Yeah.